Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at a brand new Shadow Pokemon in the world of Pokemon Go, Shadow Ledian. These battles were submitted to the channel by a fellow content creator, Jamie Finn, so many thanks for the battle submission. Now, Shadow Ledian is one of the most expensive Shadow Pokemon you can build in the Great League, as it requires over 600,000 Stardust and a ton of XL candy. So without further ado, let's hop into the matches and check out Shadow Ledian in action in the Retro Cup. Hopping into the first match, picking up a positive lead, Shadow Ledian into Vigoroth. Ledian, due to its typing, is double resisting the counters, and it can hit for massive super effective damage with Dynamic Punch. Ledian continuing to farm and going for the Dynamic Punch just before Vigoroth reaches Body Slam number 2. That's going to be shielded, goes for the Body Slam catch onto the Alolan Graveler, but great patience by the opponent, hanging on to their energy, and now they're going to grab a shield with a Body Slam bait. They actually end up going for the back-to-back body slams here. This is resisted. Graveler will be able to tank it, and now Graveler is going for the Rock Blast, looking to get rid of the Vigoroth. But Vigoroth commits the shield, looks for the farm down, but Alolan Graveler says no, making it to the Rock Blast, and down goes Vigoroth. There is a Kanto Ninetales in the back, and Shadow Regirock is about to absolutely feast. In comes Shadow Regirock. Opponent just going for the Weather Ball here. Weather Ball definitely not going to cut it. In the back, there's a Lantern, and that's not what you're hoping to see, but you are hoping to see that catch. Beautiful catch of the Surf onto the Shadow Ledian. Ledian trying to make it to the Dynamic Punch, decides against it, was worried about getting sparked down, so only ends up going for the Aerial Ace. Aerial Ace, of course, not the greatest move ever. Back in comes the Shadow Regirock. Regirock will shield up the Surf, and then go for the Focus Blast. This will hit for some big neutral damage. That's going to be good by Lantern. In comes the Ninetales, and Ninetales will be outpaced. Shadow Regirock putting the team on his back, taking out the Ninetales, and that's a good game. Picking up a terrible lead in the next match, Shadow Ledian into Pidgeot. We see a save switch into the Shadow Alolan Graveler. Opponent is going to send in a Jellicent, and they are absolutely core broken by the Shadow Alolan Graveler. Stone Edge will be shielded. Opponent farming up to the back-to-back Surfs, but they play to a CMP tie that they do not win, and Rock Blast will grab the final shield. Alolan Graveler looking to shield back, wanting to win switch, and make it so that Pidgeot gets stuck on the Shadow Regirock in the endgame. Surf number 2 is going to grab shield number 2, and now we see the Alolan Graveler making it to the Rock Blast. This will be lethal, and with switch advantage, this game is suddenly looking a lot more manageable. In the back, it's Altaria, and Altaria is about to have a terrible day. Opponent running triple strong to XL Ledian, and it's not going to matter. The Rock types in the back secure the win. We see a Nightmare lead in the next match, Shadow Ledian into Quagsire. Quagsire is incredibly good against this entire team, so definitely not what you're hoping to see. Shadow Ledian will respect the Stone Edge, and the opponent does full send the Stone Edge. That's big. Ledian continuing to farm, going for the Aerial Ace here, just looking to get chip damage onto the Quagsire. Quagsire will shield up. That is not what Ledian was hoping to see. Ledian going to double shield here as Stone Edge would hit for double super effective damage. Ledian continuing to farm, going for another Aerial Ace, hoping the opponent is going to let this through, and they do! The Quagsire gets KO'd, and that's awesome. In comes Frostlass. We see a pivot into the Shadow Alolan Graveler, and the opponent has their own Shadow Regirock. Firing off the Stone Edge, that's going to connect. And honestly, an interesting play here. You can see there the Graveler did not throw the fast move, letting itself get taken out. So now we can see the Shadow Regirock get an energy lead. That's a very nice play there, because with an energy lead, Shadow Regirock is about to absolutely crush the Frostlass. Shadow Ledian did a nice job getting rid of that Quagsire, and now the Rock types in the back are going to absolutely feast. Frostlass fires off the Avalanche. That is going to get the Shadow Regirock low, but Shadow Regirock is so spammy, making it to the Stone Edge. Get that Frostlass out of here, and that's a good game. Picking up a positive lead in the next match, Shadow Ledian into Lickitung. As you can see, the bug bites are adding up onto the Lickitung, and Ledian, of course, can hit for super effective damage with Dynamic Punch. Ledian farming up, full send in the Dynamic Punch here. Decision time for the Lickitung. Lickitung will commit the shield, and we see a very nice switch into the Shadow Alolan Graveler to catch the Body Slam. Got a Volt Switch through as well. This will allow Graveler to make it to the Stone Edge. This will be lethal. Opponent already gave up one shield. Are they willing to double shield the Lickitung? They are not, and Lickitung gets KO'd. Now the question is, what really wants to see Shadow Alolan Graveler down a shield? And it is definitely not Aurorus. Going for the Rock Blast here. We see the shield from the Aurorus. Aurorus ends up giving a Volt Switch to the Graveler. Weather Ball is going to KO, but this sets up the Shadow Regirock here, as Regirock up 2 shields looks to be quite a menace in the endgame. Aurorus firing off a charge move. Regirock will commit the shield. It is going to be the Weather Ball from the Aurorus. Regirock farming up, making it to the Stone Edge, and this is going to be good by Aurorus. Stone Edge is going to KO. In the back, it's a Frostlass, and that's game over. Great lead in the next match. We see Shadow Ledian into Defense Deoxys, and oh my goodness, those bug bites were tearing through the Deoxys. Opponent save switches into Altaria, which is going to be answered with the Shadow Alolan Graveler. Rock Blast bait does get the shield. Graveler makes it to the Stone Edge, and this is going to one-shot unless the opponent double shields. They do exactly that, opponent committing both shields to win switch advantage. So my guess is that they probably have a pretty good Shadow Ledian counter in the back. In comes the Regirock. Did the opponent blind throw here? And they did! They blind through the Sky Attack, anticipating the Ledian. Opponent gonna send in Deoxys. Deoxys firing off a charge move into the Shadow Ledian. Ledian shields. It is a Psycho Boost. Psycho Boost, of course, meaning that Deoxys has now debuffed their attack by 2 stages. Going for the Aerial Ace. Aerial Ace is a truly terrible move, but Ledian able to get the farm down after. Back in comes Altaria, going for the Sky Attack. Guess what, Altaria? That's not gonna KO. Shadow Ledian able to hang on and make it to another Aerial Ace. Again, Aerial Ace, very bad move, not going to be enough to KO. Altaria gets the farm down, they leave with energy. Shadow Regirock is going to let this go. Just going to be the Sky Attack from the Altaria. In the back, it's Medicham, and that's game over. Terrible lead in the next match, Shadow Ledian into Pidgeot. We see a save switch into the Shadow Alolan Graveler. Opponent sends in a Pelipper. And oh my goodness, I know this is a Shadow Ledian feature, but the rock types in the back are absolutely stealing the spotlight. As Graveler shields once, Volt switches down and leaves with so much energy here. Opponent gonna send in Frostlass. This might be a full Graveler sweep. Graveler going for the Stone Edge, gets the shield from the Frostlass. Graveler farming up, will have to shield the Avalanche here. But if Graveler overfarms, then Graveler should just straight up be able to 1v3 here. The perfect overfarm from the Graveler. We see the catch onto Pidgeot, undercharging the Stone Edge. That still KOs. Leaves with the Rock Blast loaded. Do we see the Graveler sweep? Yes, we do. And that's a good game. Picking up a great lead in the next match, Shadow Ledian into Medicham. Ledian does quite well here. The bug bites hitting for neutral, whereas Ledian is double resisting the counters. They can go for the Ice Punch, but Ledian can very comfortably tank 2 Ice Punches. Ledian farming up, going for the Aerial Ace here. This will hit for super effective damage. Medicham is going to let that through. Medicham with 1 HP, able to make one final charge move. Ice Punch is going to connect, looking to pivot. In comes Abomasnow. Abomasnow going for the Weather Ball here. Weather Ball, even though it is only neutral, would do a lot of damage. Opponent has a Spark Lantern as their final Pokemon, and Lantern is very difficult for this team to handle. This team, while built to counter a lot of things, definitely has a soft spot to the Lantern. We will see the shield on the Surf. Graveler looking for the farm down, not going to get the farm down. They would make the Surf, so we see the Rock Blast deployed. Rock Blast gets rid of the Lantern, but now there's an Abomasnow with 2 shields, and that is incredibly scary. Going for the Rock Blast, that gets the shield. Abomasnow not wasting any time, going for the Weather Ball here. Weather Ball not going to KO, but they do get the farm down. Honestly, this probably comes down to a catch. Sending in the Shadow Regirock, farming up with the Regirock, switches into the Ledian. Please tell me, is it the Energy Ball? Yes, it is. What a catch. Now the question is, does that catch win the game? It's going to be close. Shadow Regirock is very spammy. Stone Edge gets the shield. Regirock farming up and making it to the Stone Edge. That's a game-winning catch. Stone Edge KOs the Abomasnow, and that's a good game. Dream lead in the next match, Shadow Ledian into Chestnut. Opponent save switches into Frostlass, and Frostlass will immediately be answered by the Shadow Alolan Graveler. Avalanche will be shielded. Graveler farming up to the back-to-back Rock Blast here, looking to put some serious shield pressure on the Frostlass. Frostlass is going to take the shield advantage. I do like this play from the opponent, recognizing that they can send back in Chestnut, and Chestnut is going to wall the energy from the Shadow Alolan Graveler. Graveler going for the Stone Edge here. That did not look very resistant to me. Look at the damage. Not going to make it to another Stone Edge. Only going to have to settle for the Rock Blast. Opponent shields the Rock Blast. In comes Ledian, and it's a Shadow Charizard in the back. And Shadow Charizard meets an absolute brick wall, or I should say maybe a rock wall, with the Shadow Regirock. Regirock tanks the Shadow Blast Burn. Stone Edge will be shielded. Shadow Regirock continuing to farm, making it to Stone Edge number 2. That's going to be goodbye to the Charizard. Chestnut can have all the energy in the world, but it's not going to matter. This energy is absolutely useless against the Shadow Ledian. Ledian can very comfortably no-shield. That Frenzy Plant does absolutely nothing. Oh my goodness, this has got to be bullying. They try a superpower. That's not going to cut it either. Ledian still does not have to shield. It's another Frenzy Plant, and that's a good game. We see a terrible lead in the next match, Shadow Ledian into Toxapex. The save switch into the Shadow Alolan Graveler. Graveler will be outpaced due to the one-turn switch, and they're going to be hit with a Brine. Brine connects, getting the Graveler low. In comes Abomasnow, but Abomasnow will be met with a lot of energy from the Graveler. Rock Blast number 1 gets the shield and making it to Rock Blast number 2. Is the opponent going to double shield? They are not. But this sets up a pretty nice opportunity for the Shadow Ledian, as Ledian can very comfortably tank a Weather Ball here, even though it is super effective damage, and Ledian will be able to commit to the farm down, and now we're going to see the switch into the Regirock the moment that Toxapex re-enters the field. In comes the Regirock. Regirock might be wishing that it was running Earthquake in this moment, as Earthquake would hit for super effective damage. Shadow Stone Edge gets the shield anyway. Brine, not the strongest move, but at this point, you have 2 shields, you may as well shield something. Continuing to farm with the Regirock. Opponent tries to go for a catch. They have a Frostlass in the back, and again, the rock types in the back just absolutely stealing the spotlight from Shadow Ledian. Shadow Stone Edge KOs the Toxapex, and that's game over. Great lead in the next match, Shadow Ledian into Defense Deoxys. The Dugong save switch will be answered with the Shadow Alolan Graveler, but Graveler has to shield, as Drill Run would hit for double super effective damage. Graveler now able to massively overfarm their absolutely impeccable charge move timing, going for the Rock Blast. Rock Blast will KO. Opponent can send back in the Deoxys, but if they do, I think Deoxys is going to have to commit a shield, because Graveler has so much energy here. Graveler going for the Stone Edge. Stone Edge, massive damage onto the Deoxys. Deoxys cannot get the farm down. Shadow Alolan Graveler with those impeccable IVs, making it to the Rock Blast and grabbing a shield. Ledian can tank this even if it is the Rock Slide. It's a Thunderbolt there. Ledian able to tank in the back. It's a Walrein. Walrein farming up here. Walrein winning the CMP tie. Regirock is going to commit the shield and gets baited with an Icicle Spear. At this point, I think Regirock can make 2 before the opponent makes the Earthquake. Opponent recognizes that, lets it go, but the Deoxys is just too low, and that's game over. Hopping into the final match, we see a great lead. Shadow Ledian into Slowbro. Look at the bug bites adding up. Continuing to farm, making it to the Aerial Ace, putting pressure on the shield of the Slowbro. Slowbro is going to commit the shield, continuing to farm with the Ledian. Ledian is going to let this through. Is it going to be the Surf? Yes, it is. Now we see an aggressive pivot into the Shadow Alolan Graveler. Graveler does not want to take a Surf, so we will see the shield deployed here. Graveler looking for the farm down. Opponent sends in Trevenant. this Trevenant has to be careful here because Shadow Stone Edge is no joke and Graveler gets the full farm down. Trevenant does not even get to a move in the back. It's Toxapex, and Toxapex will be met with a Shadow Stone Edge. It saw how much neutral damage it can do to the Trevenant, and it still does not respect it. Opponent throwing on alignment, giving an entire Volt Switch for free. Graveler shields, gets the farm down. In comes the Slowbro, and once again, another Graveler sweep. First off, even though Shadow Ledian was definitely the featured Pokemon, man, Shadow Alolan Graveler really felt like it did steal the spotlight there. Just sweep after sweep in this format. Oh my goodness. I will say, Shadow Ledian could be a potential fun mon for Cups, but with that 600,000 Stardust price tag, unfortunately, it's probably not a mon I would recommend investing in at the current moment, because even though it can do decently in some matchups, especially into like Deoxys, other counter users like Medicham, that price tag is just absolutely ridiculous. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And a special thank you as always to our members here on YouTube. The support you guys provide is absolutely incredible. So thank you guys oh so very much. And until next time, I've been HomeSliceHenry.